10 major Royal Rumble returns that were announced ahead of time. Number 10. Cody Rhodes 2023. Cody Rhodes' triumphant comeback to the WWE in 2022 was one of the most talked about stories of the year. In June 2022, a little over 2 months into his remarkable second run with the company, the American Nightmare tore his pectoral muscle clean off the bone. It was then revealed that he would be out of action for several months. Fans immediately started speculating a return for Rhodes at January's Royal Rumble, and that got confirmed when the man himself declared his entry into the Rumble live on Monday Night Raw. Some would argue that saving the 37-year-old superstar as a surprise entrant would have been better, but considering that almost every invested fan already knew about it, the announcement made sense. Number 9. Mickie James 2022. WWE sent shockwaves throughout the wrestling world when they made it public that Mickie James would be participating in the Women's Royal Rumble match of 2022. While the concept of legends making special appearances is quite common, what made this case a big deal was the fact that James was the reigning Impact Women's Champion at the time. After the news broke, curiosity began to arise as to whether or not she would be able to bring her title along. That was a hot topic of discussion since WWE had garnered a reputation for not acknowledging a star's outside accomplishments. Despite that, not only did Mickie come out wearing the belt, but she also made her entrance to her Impact theme Hardcore Country. Number 8. Edge 2021. At the 2020 Royal Rumble, the Rated R superstar instilled a new meaning to the phrase "never give up" when he returned to action for the first time in nearly 9 years to a huge ovation. His first feud back was against his longtime rival and former tag team partner Randy Orton. Unfortunately, in their second match, Edge suffered an injury and had to be sidelined until the beginning of 2021. Fast forward to the final Raw before Royal Rumble 2021, the 11-time world champion appeared via a video message to declare his entry into the 30-man Royal Rumble. And that wasn't all, because WWE would then go on to announce him and Orton as the first 2 entrants into the match. Number 7. Daniel Bryan 2015. In 2014, the ending to WrestleMania 30 was nothing short of a fairy tale. After fans had to watch Daniel Bryan go through hell at the hands of the Authority, to see him finally coming out on top at the show of shows was a moment no one will forget. In a disappointing turn of events though, he would soon vacate the title due to a neck injury. Months later, the American Dragon would be cleared in time for the 2015 Royal Rumble, and instead of keeping his involvement in the match hidden from the audience, the leader of the Yes Movement spilled the beans while addressing his future on the December 29th, 2014 edition of Monday Night Raw. In hindsight, it wasn't a bad idea. Bryan showing up as a mystery participant only to lose would have made the reception to Roman Reigns' win even worse. Number 6. Batista 2014. After having the WWE fans crave his presence for over 3 years, Batista finally returned to the company in January 2014. On his first night back, he made it crystal clear that his goal was to main event WrestleMania 30, and of course, this would mean he was entering the Royal Rumble match. However, the match he chose to kick off his second run couldn't have been any worse. For starters, the crowd clearly wanted Daniel Bryan to enter at number 30 and win the whole thing. When that didn't happen, they sided with Roman Reigns, who had been on a roll during the bout. When Batista threw the big dog over the top rope, he instantly became a villain in the fans' eyes. Needless to say, everything went downhill from here. Number 5. Chris Jericho 2012. In late 2011, WWE began airing cryptic vignettes to hype up a superstar's comeback. Soon it would be revealed that the mystery person was none other than Chris Jericho. The former Undisputed Champion would return on the first Raw of 2012, after a 15-month absence from wrestling altogether. But instead of cutting a passionate promo or having a match, he just enjoyed the incredible response to his return for a while before leaving without saying a word. Jericho would continue with his mystery ways until the go-home episode for that year's Royal Rumble. On that show, he would finally speak and vaguely confirmed himself for the Royal Rumble match. Number 4. Rob Van Dam 2006. In January of 2005, Rob Van Dam suffered a knee injury, which took him out of action for a full year. Whilst recovering, he made a couple of appearances, one of which featured him getting his injured knee assaulted by Carlito. That angle, executed in the summer of 2005, was a smart way to write RVD off TV for the remainder of the year. As the Royal Rumble season of 2006 arrived, every superstar was getting ready to punch their ticket to the main event of WrestleMania 22. Among those names was that of the whole effing show, Rob Van Dam. Throughout January, a series of hype videos aired on WWE TV to confirm the ECW Icon's entry into the Royal Rumble. Number 3. The Undertaker, 2003. After working an entire Hell in a Cell match with a broken hand against Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker took a break from action towards the end of 2002. His recovery timeline indicated that he'd be ready to step back into the ring once the new year rolled around, so a Royal Rumble return made the most sense. Although it would have been a treat to watch The Undertaker showing up unannounced as the 30th entrant, WWE considered it better to promote him for the show, and thus numerous video packages centered around the dead man were played in the weeks leading to the January pay-per-view. His comeback was also touted in a promo by then SmackDown GM Stephanie McMahon during the Go Home show for the Blue brand. Number 2. Triple H, 2002. In May of 2001, Triple H would suffer a torn quad and would go on to miss 8 long months of in-ring action due to the career-threatening injury. His absence had such an effect on the fans that he came back to a hero's welcome despite leaving as one of the biggest villains of the Attitude Era. The game made his triumphant return as a babyface at Madison Square Garden during the January 7th, 2002 edition of Monday Night Raw. He then cut a promo in which he declared himself entering the Royal Rumble match, which was just 13 days away. The classic bout that year already had a stats lineup featuring megastars such as The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kurt Angle. Triple H's addition only made the event more must-see. Number 1. Shawn Michaels, 1996. Prime Shawn Michaels was a troublemaker through and through, but that didn't change the fact that he was among the finest professional wrestlers on the roster at the time. In late 1995, the Heartbreak Kid was apparently concussed during a legit brawl outside a bar. In order to write him off TV for a while, WWE had Michaels collapse in the ring during a match with Owen Hart in November. A little over a month later, he was announced for the 1996 Royal Rumble bout. The company heavily promoted Michaels' return, and it made sense as he was slated to outlast 29 of men and confirm his spot in the main event of WrestleMania 12. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling content.